Plastco, building a compensation and reward system that makes sense. Group number 4, Catherine Baker, Kathy Beamish, Emily Bisson, and Emily Booth. Objectives: implement a more effective HR approach and compensation mix for inspectors/packers, utility workers, and operators at Plastco. Proposed changes will improve employee relations and morale, eliminate pay inequities, increase productivity, and reduce waste. This will lower Plastco's attrition and make them more profitable as an organization and competitive as a supplier of quality plastic bags. The current strategy is a classic management approach, and it's not working. A change to a human relations approach will increase positive relations among staff, improve productivity, and reduce waste. This will be achieved through non-monetary incentives, correcting the pay inequities that exist, and restructuring indirect pay. Some of our recommendations are to increase the amount of career and goal planning for frontline workers. This will increase membership behavior. We also think they should provide more supervisory feedback to increase task behavior, change the compensation structure to include more extrinsic rewards, have better job design for the workers, and more coordination and departmentation.
At Plastco, the current compensation mix consists of an 80% base pay and a 20% indirect pay for all workers. This is proving to be ineffective as there is a high turnover rate of employees showing dissatisfaction with their work. Due to the fact that employees are unhappy and unsatisfied with their work, we have proposed a new compensation mix. For inspectors and packers, we propose 70% base pay, 15% performance pay, and 15% indirect pay. For utility workers and operators, we propose an 80% base pay, 5% performance pay, and 15% indirect pay. For inspectors and packers, we propose to increase the base pay to match the market price median according to the Department of Employment and Social Development Canada. This will raise the wage from $14 an hour to $16.65 an hour. The intention is to decrease turnover and increase equity. The median market price is a good place to be, as specialized skills are not required for these positions and workers are easy to replace. We have added performance pay to the compensation mix of inspectors and packers to assist in recognizing contributions and creating a sense of ownership and community. Gain sharing will make up 10% and will increase productivity and encourage workers to contribute ideas, to work smarter, and reduce waste. The remaining 5% will be profit sharing and will provide workers a sense of ownership and aid in everyone working toward a common goal. The remaining 15% of the compensation mix for inspectors and packers will be indirect pay. This proved to not be a high motivator for employees in the original compensation mix, so we have decreased it by 5% and reallocated that money to performance pay. That reallocation will increase the bottom line because there will be more morale, retention, productivity, and a reduction of waste. We feel as though we can create a positive motivation with their indirect pay split to mandatory benefits of 5%, pension of 5%, health and life insurance of 2.5%, and paid time off of 2.5%. For utility workers and operators, Plastco is leading the market in median pay. We do not want to immediately lower this rate for current employees as it could lead to legal issues and decrease morale. Instead, we will red circle those employees until such a time that they leave the organization. For new employees, we will adjust the base pay to match the market. Utility workers and operators will receive a 5% performance pay of merit bonuses. These will consist of cash bonuses for good employee performance. This strategy will help create a pay freeze on the base pay, as the bonuses will act as a raise, and it will increase morale as well as encourage optimal performance. Utility workers and operators will receive the same indirect pay as inspectors and packers. We can still receive similar rewards with a 5% reduction, and that 5% reallocation to performance pay will be a better allocation to increase membership and task behavior. This will change the current projected earnings from $840,000 to $915,428,000.56. This proposed strategy is slightly more expensive but still affordable, especially considering this new mix could make Plastco more profitable, productive, and efficient. Plastco's biggest issues were low morale, lacking productivity, and a high amount of waste, which could be remedied with an equitable pay structure that aligns with the market, performance pay for increased productivity, and costs saved in decreased waste.
We have taken third-party data from various websites regarding levels of compensation for similar roles based on job title and description, and have evaluated the data to determine the average pay ranges for comparable work. The results showed the inspectors and packers are not being adequately compensated for their work. The inspector and packer position is the only role within the organization that is filled predominantly by female workers, and the position that we felt needs to be reevaluated most. We saw a trend of low pay, pay inequity, and poor interpersonal relationships that were contributing to high turnover within that department. According to third-party data, the hourly pay should be increased from $14 to $16.65 hourly. We feel that an increased base pay and that higher level of pay equity would improve teamwork overall and strengthen interpersonal relationships.
Performance for the inspectors/packers will be a gain-sharing plan. Gain sharing is appropriate for these workers as the work can be measured. The gain-sharing plan will encourage teamwork. The increase in performance pay will be covered by the decreased company costs due to more efficient production and waste reduction. This kind of profit sharing will give the workers a sense of ownership and increase company profitability. Performance pay for the utility workers operators will be a merit pay. Utility workers operators are red circled. Therefore, we do not want to increase their base pay. Incentives for good performance is still important for morale and positive relations. Therefore, a cash bonus for these employees makes the most sense. Indirect pay for the operator, packers, utility workers, and operators will be reduced from 20% to 15% of the total mix. The indirect pay still includes elements such as mandatory benefits, pension, which is important for retention, health benefits, and pay for time not worked. The indirect pay is flexible within the structure and can be customized to employee needs. This flexibility provides motivational incentives. Conclusions. Shifting from a classical management strategy to a human relations approach is necessary. The proposed compensation mix of 70% base pay, 15% performance pay, and 15% indirect pay for the inspector packers, and 80% base pay, 5% performance pay, 15% indirect pay for the utility workers operators makes sense for effectively creating this shift. Plastco's bottom line and company reputation will be vastly improved by creating base, performance, and indirect pay plans that address pay inequities, motivate desired behavior, and improve productivity and reduce waste. Thank you for watching.